So today we're going to do some stamping. I always like to make myself a space on the floor where I can kind of see what's going on, then be able to step back. The nice thing about African fabric, and the really cool thing, is that you can make your own design of any stamp that you choose and take it to a workman or a fundi, and he will turn it into a stamp for you. He carves it out by hand, and there are no mechanical tools used for these carvings. This is very traditional in the way that it's been done for hundreds and hundreds of years. What I'm using here is acrylic paint, and for my stamp, I have a little pad here with a sponge and a little bit of water, because I don't want the paint on here to be too heavy. And I'm just painting the surface. Now there in America, many of you will have rollers, so you can just roll, or brayers, and you can just apply your ink or your paint in that way. I'm using black. You can use whatever color you choose. In order to make this go all the way through the fabric, I put padding underneath. So I've got an old towel and even my old work pants there that are underneath. And I am going to start the stamping process, which is just putting some weight on it. Try not to move when you put the weight on, because you don't want it to misregister. And in some cases, perhaps you want it to misregister because it looks kind of cool. But you see, and it barely goes through the other side. This fabric I'm using here is a very, very thin, loosely woven muslin. So I'm just creating a pattern with this, and what I will do is, after it's finished, then I will dye the fabric. So again, I'm just painting the surface lightly with this black paint. I just use a little bit, and I make sure that it's not too thick, because we don't want it to get all gooey and bunched up in the lines. We want them to be clearly defined. Okay. Then I just put pressure on it without wiggling it or moving it. Lift. And this particular design that I'm using is actually, it's a clove. If any of you have ever seen a clove, this is really popular here in Zanzibar because this is the Clove Island. And at one time, this little island here in East Africa in the Indian Ocean supplied 80% of the world's cloves. So that's what this symbol is here, which is very cool, and which really goes with our theme, Tupo Pamoja, because cloves are used all around the world, and they're one of those lovely spices that bring us all together during the holidays. So this is the stamping portion of our video. Thanks for joining.